Hello everyone, Saturn here. This is for new players. You may not know, but one thing that limits you in this game is population, and population, or pops, is power. Since you want pops as fast as possible, how do you increase pop growth? Well, one is definitely habitability. You have to make sure that your planets, if you can get them to 100%, that's the best. But you can see right here, we're at 90% habitability, and we're still taking a minus 5% pop growth. If you do one that you have very low habitability, you can see the huge negative, minus 35% pop growth. So habitability is definitely a large one. So any text that can help with that, as well as maybe modifying your species or terraforming, definitely is a first thing to do. The next thing to do is also to prioritize pop growth when it comes up in tech, especially underneath society. You'll get genome mapping first. That's a 10% pop growth. Then it keeps going from there. There's cloning, and I think there's some other ones throughout the game. So if you see these pop up, take them first. If you're not a hive mind and already a robotic empire, a great way to increase your population growth is through robotic workers, and these will be available in your engineering tree when they first come up in tech. I would say pick it up.
Cheese it! Robot house!
Is what you can start to do is create robot assembly plants. And the robot assembly plants, they cost some minerals to get started. You're going to have a roboticist job, so it takes one job spot, one pop to be able to fulfill it, and you're going to need 3 alloys to start creating them. And once the robots are created, you are going to need some upkeep with energy. However, the huge benefit of this is it creates a whole nother assembly line that's separate from your population's growing. So what you're doing is you're essentially double your population growth on that given planet. One way to get some free pops is, if your empire allows it, go underneath your policies, and under refugees, there's refugees welcome. What this does is, as the game progresses and in other empires, when they're trying to escape purges or slavery or resettlement and a bunch of other things, then what they'll do is this makes it possible for them to actually migrate, and you get some free pops in your own empire. As a new player, don't fall for this. One thing that the AI is going to do a lot is offer you migration treaties.
It's a trap!
Migration treaties aren't necessarily a great thing for you, especially if you're not building it properly in your empire. They could actually decide to build some things to make their planets more attractive. And what happens there is, since this opens up borders between your empire and their empire, your pops can actually start migrating more into theirs, and you can actually lose overall. And the last thing you got to be really careful about regarding pop growth is housing. So housing is very important. You got to make sure you have enough on your planets, because what happens is if you get overcrowded by 15% on the planet and have 5 or more pops without housing, it'll completely stop growing. Your pops will just stop.
More friends! More allies! More, I say! Hang those who talk of less! There's a few inches over here! Ho!
And then if you get above 25% crowding in this state, it'll actually start to decline. So you got to be very, very careful with your housing. Make sure you're building enough either through districts or through city districts, but always make sure you either have enough housing, or if your planet's full, that's fine. But then what you can start doing is migrating, and you can decide to resettle maybe some of your populations onto other planets. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much. Feel free, hit that subscribe, like, and notification button. They're free, and as always,
For the swarm.